IVM.
We would like to thank Storytel for sponsoring this show. Storytel is an audiobook platform that lets you hear hundreds of thousands of stories on your mobile, on your PC, wherever you prefer. You can get a great deal by signing up at storytel.com/IVM. But before I tell you what the deal is, let me make a recommendation for you for your first book. When you go to Storytel, search for James Clavell. He has a number of books, but I'm going to recommend Shogun to you. Shogun is the story of an Englishman who's shipwrecked in 16th century Japan and how he struggles to deal with the culture, gets embroiled in the politics of the land. It's a great story, and if it wasn't enough that you can get just this one book, James Clavell's Asian Saga has 5 more books on Storytel. So go to storytel.com/IVM. You can get your first month at 99 rupees a month instead of 299. That's 200 rupees off on your first month. Storytel.com/IVM. Go check it out.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with a galaxy called PHL 293b. Did you know that a star suddenly went missing this year? Scientists can't find a star that was part of this galaxy. And it was a rather big star and it mysteriously disappeared. Some believe that this is the first example of a star turning into a black hole before it went supernova. 2020 was filled with crazy facts that we missed talking about because there was just so much to talk about. For example, the Pentagon finally declassified footage of US Air Force planes finding UFOs or unidentified flying objects. Proof that aliens have been here on Earth or that there is some new technology that we are not aware of. Another crazy fun fact is that Poland invaded Czech Republic by mistake. The army entered, took control of the area and stopped the locals from going to a church, all by mistake. It was cleared up as a misunderstanding later. But I think the cutest story is about a monkey that entered one of the largest hospitals in Uttar Pradesh and stole 3 test tubes filled with blood taken to test COVID. Whichever way you look at it, this year has been a wild ride. So wild that shocking and sensational news is no longer shocking or sensational to us. For many of us, this has been a time of great suffering, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, and financially. But as every year, we enter this one too with great gusto. However, in the muck that we feel this year has been, there has been a few lotuses blossoming as well. I know friends who have found love, gotten married. Life slowed down enough for other couples to have babies. I started this year by giving a talk at the WZCC, the World Zartushti Chamber of Commerce. We had workshops planned for 7 countries, which obviously did not happen. But we ended this year by doing a workshop for Google and their employees in Southeast Asia. We did another workshop for a huge multinational company and 400 employees of it. The point I'm trying to make is that let's leave 2020 not in anger and hate. Let's instead choose to remember the good things that happened this year. And I'm sure something good must have happened to you as well. However small, however tiny, let's make a list of those good things that happened so that we don't just live in hate and bring that in to the next year. Because there is no point starting 2021 with hate, with anger, and with trepidation. We would much rather enter 2021 filled with hope and promise. We would much rather enter 2021 by giving it the best chance for success. So what I want you to do is I want you to evaluate 5 areas of your life. I want you to sit peacefully, close your eyes, and visualize what that area of your life would look like by the end of 2021. These 5 areas are, you can write them down with a pen if you want. The first is financial. The second area is business or professions or jobs. The third is relationships, both romantic and friends and family. The fourth is health and fitness. And finally, the fifth is fun times or doing things that bring you joy. You see, as your habit coach, I find these as being your most important areas to focus on this year. Notice the fifth one is so important. So much of the fun and joy in our life has disappeared because of this pandemic, because of being stuck at home. I want you to actively create that. Once you visualize this, I want you to write it down. Write down what this area of your life will look like by December 31, 2021. Then I want you to think about how you can use habits, all the habits that you've learned from this podcast, or how can you create habits of your own to begin achieving these aspects of your life. Use this time to create hope for yourself, that tomorrow will be better than today was. Use this to realize what it is that you truly want and will make a difference in your life. See, 2020 is over. It's gone. It doesn't mean that 2021 will be the same or worse. We can instead make it better. So create your simple habits. Only once you've done this visualization exercise and have written down all your goals for these 5 aspects of your life. So do this exercise today when you find some free time. So you're ready to begin with full gusto for 2021. Happy New Year, guys.
So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. One more reminder, people, please go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and help us out. It will take you a couple of minutes to fill out this survey, but it really is very, very helpful for us. For the people who do fill out the survey and are willing to drop us their email address, we're going to do a special drawing and send out some IVM swag to everybody. So please do help us out with that. But what a week it's been on the network. There's so many things to talk to you all about. Let me run through some of the biggest highlights really, really quickly, right? So Sanjay Jha was on Cyrus Says. What an incredible conversation. I mean, I can't say enough about it. Check that out. We had Hansal Mehta on Marukinay's Note talking about 1992 scam. Amazing stuff. We had Vishal Gondal talking to Nikhil Advani about his career in film. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vineet spoke to Gunjan Arya, the CEO of OML, and Samiksha Unyal from Bacardi about the history of NH7, the Weekender Festival. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav had an amazing episode about the Bushmen of Kalahari. Begin the Journey, Ashish Vidyarthi talks about career choices. On Nankari, they talk about cake. What a fun show that was. And on This Round Is On Me, we had Dr. Sanjay Arora talking to Gauri about Suburban Diagnostics and Company and what he sees as the future of healthcare in India. And for our Tamil speakers, if you haven't been checking out Sivakami and Sabatam, why haven't you? Please do go check that out. Kavita's doing an amazing job telling that story. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
पेश खिदमत है आपकी शान में हमारे अंजुमन से. Hi, I am Sadaf.
And I'm Arshit. खाने का इतिहास, economics, policy, psychology, सब है मेन्यू पे.
Only on the Nankari podcast every Wednesday, सिर्फ IVM podcast ऐप या वेबसाइट पर या फिर जहां से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो.